Cliff Richard's life extends far beyond the glossy headlines and chart-topping hits. Known for his enduring smile and spotless public image, he has always been more than the sum of his fame. Behind the polished exterior lies a story shaped by faith, love, resilience, and quiet perseverance. From a childhood uprooted by historical upheaval to a career that helped define British rock and roll, Cliff's journey has been anything but simple. He loved privately, endured publicly, and faced challenges that tested his character. This is the story of a man whose strength lies in his unwavering dignity and personal integrity. A love that stayed quiet. Love for Cliff Richard was never meant for the spotlight. Though he never married or had children, his heart knew deep attachment and longing. In 1971, he met a young Australian singer whose presence was immediately striking. She was talented, gentle, and poised, and he sensed a connection that went beyond friendship. Yet, circumstances made romance impossible. She was engaged to someone close to Cliff. Respect, loyalty, and discretion guided his actions. Their bond remained enduring and private, marked by collaboration and mutual respect. Decades later, their duets carried a quiet authenticity, reflecting emotions that were never fully public but deeply felt. Childhood in a shifting world. Born Harry Roger Webb on October 14, 1940 in Lucknow, British India, Cliff entered a world in turmoil. War, colonial decline, and political unrest shaped his early environment. His father worked on the railways, providing stability, yet the family faced upheaval as India moved toward independence. In 1948, they relocated to post-war England, leaving behind the only home Harry had known. Adjusting to grey, rationed streets and modest housing was challenging, but it planted early lessons in resilience and adaptability. From this experience, young Harry learned how to survive dislocation, hold on to memory, and keep moving forward in a world that had already changed before he could understand it. Finding a voice for a new generation. By the late 1950s, Harry Webb had transformed into Cliff Richard, ready to give Britain a voice it had never had. American rock and roll dominated, but Britain lacked its own musical identity. In 1958, he released a song that changed everything, a raw, urgent track that captured attention and defied convention. It quickly climbed the charts, signalling a new era in British music. On stage, his style, sound, and confidence resonated with young audiences, inspiring admiration and imitation. With his band beside him, Cliff helped create a homegrown youth culture, proving that Britain could produce its own sound rather than borrowing from overseas. His arrival was both disruptive and defining. Beyond music, film, and cultural influence. Cliff Richard's impact extended beyond the recording studio. He understood that longevity required versatility and chose to explore film as a medium. Early roles were selected thoughtfully, reflecting the hopes, struggles, and optimism of young people navigating post-war Britain. Films became cultural milestones, connecting audiences to stories of aspiration and change. Unlike many peers, Cliff's presence on screen felt authentic, grounded, and relatable. By the early 1960s, he was topping both charts and box offices, a feat few British artists had achieved. His success laid the groundwork for a broader cultural movement, bridging music, cinema, and youth identity before other global phenomena reshaped the entertainment world. Faith and personal conviction. At the height of his fame, Cliff made a choice that surprised the public. He openly acknowledged his Christian faith. While the pop world increasingly leaned into rebellion and excess, Cliff embraced discipline, reflection, and spiritual honesty. His faith did not remove him from the spotlight, but informed his choices quietly and consistently. Some fans drifted away while others stayed, drawn by his sincerity and integrity. Faith gave him stability, a foundation stronger than applause or fame. Rather than abandoning music, he infused it with intention and maturity, proving that personal conviction and professional success need not be mutually exclusive. He became a model of consistency in an unpredictable industry. Resilience through public scrutiny. Cliff's life has not been free from trials. He faced moments of intense public scrutiny that could have destroyed less grounded individuals, yet he endured, relying on inner strength, faith, and personal values. Scandal and rumour tested his reputation and resilience, but he responded with dignity rather than defensiveness. His ability to withstand these pressures without compromising his identity or beliefs demonstrates a rare combination of perseverance and grace. Many contemporaries faltered when confronted by shifting cultural norms or public judgment, but Cliff's steadfastness ensured that his legacy remained intact. He emerged from every challenge not seeking vindication but quietly reaffirming his principles. The private triumphs of love and loyalty. Love in Cliff's life was often uncelebrated, existing in private acts of loyalty and support. The bond he maintained with close companions reflected a life led by choice and restraint, rather than impulsive desire. He valued connection without possession, embracing the complexities of timing, circumstance, and personal responsibility. These private victories, friendships preserved, collaborations honoured, emotions acknowledged internally, illustrate a depth often overlooked by casual observers. Cliff's life demonstrates that fulfillment is not always visible to the world. Sometimes the most meaningful relationships are those nurtured in silence, rooted in trust, respect, and enduring presence. An enduring voice. Across generations, Cliff Richard's contribution to music and culture is enduring. He bridged generational divides, inspiring fans in the 1950s and beyond. His work laid the foundation for later British artists, proving that authenticity and skill could coexist with popular appeal. Even as musical trends evolved, he remained relevant without losing his core identity. By staying true to his principles, Cliff cultivated a lasting connection with audiences who valued sincerity over spectacle. His voice, steady, emotive, and unmistakably personal, remains a touchstone of familiarity, proof that authenticity resonates across decades, and that endurance is as vital to legacy as innovation. Quiet courage and consistency. The hallmark of Cliff Richard's life is quiet courage. He embraced challenges without fanfare, navigating fame, scrutiny, and personal longing with dignity. He did not chase attention, instead letting talent, faith, and integrity define him. Over decades, he maintained a steady presence amid cultural upheavals, demonstrating that consistency is a form of courage. His story reminds us that heroism is not always dramatic. It often resides in the simple choice to remain true to oneself, to act with restraint, and to carry forward even when the world shifts beneath one's feet. Legacy beyond recognition. Today, Cliff Richard's legacy is measured not only in commercial success but in the resilience, integrity, and humility he embodies. His life reflects the power of endurance, the importance of private loyalty, and the beauty of living with conviction. He navigated fame without surrendering authenticity, love without seeking recognition, and faith without alienating others. Through every chapter he remained steady, demonstrating that true influence comes from consistency, sincerity, and grace. Cliff's journey illustrates that enduring impact is created not through spectacle or reinvention, but through steadfast presence, quiet courage, and a life lived authentically. Conclusion. The man behind the music cliff. Richard's story is more than a chronicle of hits and headlines. It is the story of a man who loved without possession, endured without bitterness, and stood firm amid upheaval. From the upheaval of his childhood to pioneering British rock, from private heartache to public scrutiny, his life reflects resilience, integrity, and quiet strength. His voice continues to resonate because it springs from authenticity, shaped by experience and conviction. Cliff Richard did not simply survive the spotlight. He became a symbol of endurance and grace, a reminder that staying true to oneself can leave the most lasting mark on history.